disappointment that the Taunton game was postponed on Tuesday night, so what better place to start than a dramatic win over Hemel Hempstead on Saturday?
Yeah, it was dramatic. We were, of course, disappointed to be 2-0 down. We felt it was a penalty. I hadn't spoken to Mark about it, but it certainly looked like one. Then they got their second goal, and we got our backs to the wall a little bit. But it does show the passion and in the players and in the team at the moment, that they certainly didn't give up. And we got 2 goals back fairly quickly before half time. 2 good goals, and it was great for our skipper to get the winner in the 90th minute or whatever it was, So, and it made for a great ending. So if you get a good ending, then your supporters go home and feel they've had value for money, and they've seen 5 goals, 3 from their own team, and it was a great atmosphere and a great moment when Mox struck it in. You could see the passion of them trying to get on the end of the ball, because it was a recycle from a corner. It came back out to Brett eventually, and he hit a fantastic cross, and 3 people dived at it. One was Theo, who just missed it. Ross just missed it, ended up in the back of the net, and then Mox was determined to get on the end of it, and he hit the post himself. The ball went in the net. He hit the post. Good, it was that way round, really. And it was a fine finish, because that's like four wins on the trot in the league, and we've been desperately trying to get another run together, and it's seen us pop into second place and creeping up with onto the leaders, because what you want to put the leading group under pressure, and certainly Oval looking behind them. But it's early yet to worry about one team, but so we're ready to keep going. We just got to hope to get a few more players back as soon as we can. I'm sure you'll ask me the question, so that we've got more people to choose from, and more options. But credit to the boys that have been playing regular. They've put in a great stint and have done very well.
Now, obviously you mentioned that it was Brett McGavran's fantastic delivery that set up the winner, so obviously it's equally disappointing, especially when you talk about getting players back, that that late second yellow card for Brett McGavran will mean that he misses the next game. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, he shouldn't be missing the next game. If you go to prison because somebody's accused you of something, and then you're found innocent, you come out. Unfortunately in football, you're guilty, and then if they prove, and when they prove, because they will, that he's innocent from kicking the ball away, then you still have to do the punishment, which is, I think you can ask for the powers, the refereeing powers that be, to look at it, but it's always like a few days or a week later. But they don't get off if they say that they agree with us that it shouldn't have been a sending off. He got the first booking, quite rightly, but he got booked the second time for kicking the ball away. And if when they review it, they'll see that the ref blew his whistle a second or so after Brett had kicked the ball, so he definitely wasn't kicking it away. And if you pause it, the ball's 5 yards away from Brett. Pause the video, so he's already kicked it when the referee blew his whistle at that sort of point. You know what I mean? So it wasn't as though Brett heard the whistle and kicked the ball away. So that's how we see it, and I'm sure it's how the authorities will see it. So it's a shame, because he's been doing very well, but it gives somebody else now an opportunity to come in and prove themselves.
And on that note, if people need to prove themselves, I'm going to ask you a question like you've just alluded to. Ahead of a busy festive schedule, how are things looking now with the other knocks in the camp?
some are getting closer, and we say that every week, but we knew that they were all sort of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks sort of away, some of them, and we just have to wait and see. Even if some of those are ready injury wise, they're not going to be fit if you've been out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So we've got to almost give them a very sharp pre-season first. We've got to get them on the grass or on the AstroTurf in our case, where we train, and get them fit again. The greatest thing is while these boys are doing well, you're not panicking. You haven't got to play somebody that could break down again. So we're happy with the group that we're choosing from at the moment.
One player, of course, you won't be choosing from for now on will be Sean Donnellan, who's now gone to Livingston. As good as Sean has been in his performances for the club, actually coincides with a really good run for the players that have been picked. Does that mean there's not quite so much urgency to plug that gap with him going out the door now?
No, I think Ross Marshall's done well there when he's played there. Dylan Crowe has come back from Havant, playing well. So he deserves his chance in the squad. So we're pleased with him. We're just waiting. Sean's gone and he was our regular fullback, but that's a situation we found ourselves in. People can sign somebody on a pre-contract before the time, and once somebody's decided to go, then of course you look past that person to play somebody else who's going to be here for the rest of the season. So that's important for people to know that. He done well for us. He played in every game he was fit for, and we wish him well up in Scotland. So so that answers your question.
And finally, looking ahead to Chelmsford, it was a very competitive game playing more earlier in the season. I imagine that you're going to be looking at a very similar scenario up at their place on Saturday.
Yeah, you've got to make them all tough. You've got to say games are going to be tough, because you've got to make sure you go to these places, whether it's at home or away, with a good attitude and a desire to win the game, not just in your head thinking, oh, we're going to win this. And we make sure that the lads, we don't take the confidence away from them, because of course that's not what you do, but they can't be overconfident. Once you start winning, every game extra that you win means that you're under more pressure to win the next one and the next one, because the law of averages says you're not going to go through the rest of the season winning every game. So we just try and get them primed to say, we've had 4 great wins, we're in second place, now we've got to push on, we've got to keep that going, and we've got to make sure that Chelmsford, everyone's seen now that in this league, we said, people were having a go at me saying about they're all there's no mug teams. Well, I think everybody's seen who knows about football, there isn't any mug teams, and you've got to play well. 11 men have got to play well to win football matches, and we've got into a habit at this moment in time of winning football matches. It's been hard work getting to here. We've done all we can. The players have done all they can, and it's come into a bit of fruition. And win, lose or draw, we've got a Christmas period that's quite exciting now, and that's where we want the club and ourselves want it to be.